And I've got Ashton and John from
Hey, what's
Topeka,
happening, man?
Oklahoma.
How are you guys? Sorry I'm late. Excuse me.
It's all good.
It's a little hard to
You
hear
guys
on that.
doing okay?
There we go. That's perfect.
Yep.
This has been kind of nutty around here, man.
Oh, I can imagine.
Lots of fun. Thank y'all so much for having a conversation with me today.
Thank
Oh,
you.
man, thank you.
Absolutely amazing, man. Tora Tora is always one of my favorites.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and
Oh,
I got something hanging out there for you.
Oh, wow. This is awesome. Love it. Killer, man. Yeah, this brings back a lot of memories.
Yeah.
We're celebrating the 35th anniversary of this record. It came out last summer. It was 35 years. So, oh, thank you. And man, this record brings back so many great memories. We had great producers on this record.
Just sign the CD. You're good.
Just sign
You're
it.
good.
And you know,
Beautiful.
we couldn't believe it. We were like, a garage band, and we got in with these guys, and all of a sudden our sound shifted, and excuse me, it was pretty amazing. Lots of fun memories of it. We were learning a lot on that first record, and everybody's really patient. We worked on it for about a year. We probably wrote about 70 songs, and we had to whittle it down to 20, and then it got to about 10. Yeah, it was a learning experience. It was a lot of trial and error kind of stuff, trying to figure out what we're doing. But
How do you choose what songs? I mean, that's like
you get
choosing your
protected.
favorite kid.
The tighter it gets, it's harder. But we had a lot of input. There was management people talking to us, and the record label, of course, was talking to us about. And actually, Walking Shoes was really late on the process. We were wondering if it would even make the project. And, I just remember being at Keith's apartment, and I was like laying on the floor with like a little pad, scribbling something. And he was playing that lick, and I was like, "Oh my God,
Dude,
what
that's
is
an
that?"
awesome
The little intro thing, and I was like, "What is that?" He was like, "Oh, it's something I got." We wrote on it as quick as we could, and we snuck in the studio and got a demo done really fast. And then the next thing we knew, it made the record, and we didn't know if it would be released, but it ended up being the lead-off single.
Wow.
It was pretty amazing.
So, how did Walking Shoes form your trajectory? I mean,
Well, it was really kind of natural. I think what Keith was doing, we were, a Memphis-based band. We stayed based out of Memphis. We recorded everything at Ardent Studios, which if your listeners or people watching, if you're not familiar with Ardent, please look it up. It's a very historical studio. Everybody from Zeppelin 3 some of it was mixed there. Stevie Ray Vaughan was there. The Allman Brothers, Leonard Skinner, REM, all these bands were there. All kind of people. We had done a production deal with them, and so we just stayed based out of Memphis the whole time. We never moved to LA or anything. So
yeah.
I think that kind of influenced our sound. We were always kind of very, blues oriented, and we tried to stay authentic, to what we're trying to do. Keith was a huge Randy Rhoads fan. He loved Randy Rhoads, so we definitely had the crunch, but there was some elements of blues and stuff in ours.
Right on. How did you fit in around Memphis, being this?
It was actually, at the time, it was a killer scene. There was a local DJ that was doing a local show, and there was a couple of venues in town that would let you do originals, and they actually would do showcases where people would drive. Memphis is located in kind of the southwest corner of Tennessee, so the radio broadcasting was going over the Boot Hill, Missouri, out into Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama. And all those people, those musicians and stuff, would come in to do those showcases. And it would be like an all-ages show in about a 900-seat theater.
Uh-huh.
The local music store would do the back line, and the radio would promote it. And so it would be all underage people, and all ages. It would be in the middle of the week, and that place would be overflowing with people. So that was a good opportunity. And a lot of the overflow from LA was there, even though we weren't, Bill Street wasn't really like the Sunset Strip, but on one end of it, there was a lot of rock and roll people walking around with their leather jackets on, their hair spiked up. But we were kind of feeling that, because we were kind of on the tail end of the LA Sunset Strip thing. Um, but we had felt the elements of it in Memphis, and we were fans of a lot of that stuff. I mean, I love Bon Jovi's records and things like that. I was listening to all that stuff. So.
Awesome. Um, do you feel like Nashville has become the new hub for rock and roll and that type of thing, or you happy with Memphis going, this is where I belong?
I actually live here. I've
Oh,
been
you
here for
do?
20 years.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And
Okay.
the band is still based out of Memphis.
Okay.
I moved up here. I actually moved here to work for the record labels,
Uh-huh.
RCA and Sony.
Oh,
And
all
I worked in
right.
music publishing for 8 years, and then I became a professor at entertainment business teacher. So I taught kids about the
Man.
entertainment business, which was really fun. It kept me kind of immersed in all the technology stuff that was changing and all that stuff, those things. But I love Memphis and Nashville are sister cities. They're not musically, they're not far apart as far as the quality of music, and musicians, and all that. The thing that makes Nashville difference is it was built on music publishing, so the infrastructure is all here. Publishing companies, management companies, booking agents, all that are all here. When I first moved here, I moved here 20 years ago this year, and one of the first parties that I went to was with one of the big talent agent companies, the William Morris Agency, for a Christmas party. And I walked in, and I had a friend that was an agent there, and he said, "Come to this party, and you'll know why I'm inviting you when you get here." But I parked in like the upper level of the parking level where I could just walk into the room where the party was. And when I walked in, I looked up, and it was Mark Slaughter, Kip Winger, Tom Kiefer, the Nelson people. I mean, it was like MTV was standing there. I just went, "Oh my God, these are all the people that I knew back in the day, or watched back in the day." But they had all migrated here from
Yeah.
different areas of the country, from Las Vegas and New York and LA and all those places. Uh, it was a little bit cheaper to live here back then, which that was a big draw for me. I moved because the schools were great here. I had 3 little boys at the time, and my parents and my sister had all migrated up this way from Memphis, so I wanted my family to be close together. So that's the reason I moved.
Awesome, awesome. So let's talk a little bit about the Monsters of Rock cruise. You've been on the Monsters of Rock cruise.
Listen, man, anybody watching this or listening, if you haven't done it, it's amazing. Larry Moran and the whole staff and crew of people have really created like a community and a culture. It's so fun. I mean, we're fans. We love all the bands on there anyway, and but it's just so fun to go on there. Our first one was 2017. Patrick, our bass player, had gone through a health scare, which people our age and the kind of lifestyle that we had a long time ago. If you're talking about your health, it kind of gets serious. But thank goodness he had a really great, clean bill of health, and his doctor said he was fine to tour. And the first thing he wanted to do was play. And he said, "I want to go. I don't care if it's 5 people or 50 or whatever. Let's go jam." And we jumped on the Monster Rock, and it was like finding your tribe. It's about 3,000 drunk people on the boat listening to music 24 hours a day, and it was just so fun. I mean, it's just you do all kind of activities together. They do things that are interactive with the artists, so you can spend time with them. And of course, the shows are amazing.
Yeah.
I saw Tesla and Extreme, Slaughter, all their sets were incredible. We saw some emerging new artists that were really killer. A lot of them maybe had been from Europe that wouldn't get a chance to come to tour the U.S., but they get them on the boat for a couple of shows. So that's pretty amazing to see them. I saw Wigwam and Massive Wagons and a couple other bands that were really awesome. Eclipse has been on there a couple of times when I've been on there. So anyway, it's fun to see that. And you get to see the band guys. Everybody's busy traveling. So you're kind of trapped on there. You get to see each other and you can kind of sit down with each other for a minute.
Yeah, it's definitely been on our bucket list. It's just like nothing like going to breakfast and Nuno's getting sausage next to you.
I'm telling you, it's no telling what will happen. They do painting classes. They make drinks together. I did Family Feud. I was the leader of one of the teams on Family Feud. It was a lot of fun.
So I've got a question from John here.
Okay.
Off the cuff event 2 days ago. Are there any plans to do any more of those types of events?
Yeah, I think what Cher, the lady that put it on, has got a good idea of just getting some different musicians together. They did the Right Around thing a lot in Nashville. It's more geared towards the country genre, but it's fun to get the rock guys together, just to collaborate and talk and listen. And hear the different ideas and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. I've been doing a lot of acoustic, honestly. There's a couple of things I wanted to plug on here really quick.
Absolutely.
Keith Douglas, our guitar player, has an instrumental record. It's called Remnants of Euphoria. He did all the music. He got very inspired and very excited about doing a project. He's always wanted to do this. And so you guys find us on social media, Tour Band. We're on all your social media, and we run it. And you can direct message me. I'll point you in a way to get a hold of that. And then our drummer John has a group called Fever Tree. It's a little more progressive rock than Tora. We're kind of a straight ahead rock band. His is a little more intricate. But we've been friends with his group. The singer, I've known him probably for 40 years. We grew up together. We had jam rooms together.
Awesome.
He's super talented. He's a great singer and writer. So I definitely wanted to plug them. And then I'm also doing a bunch of acoustic shows.
I saw that. I
outside
was
of the
going to
Off
ask
the
about
Cuff
those.
thing. During the pandemic, I did a Sunday sunset session. And as things started opening up again, people said, would you come and do this songwriter thing that you're doing? And it's really fun for me. I think it might be my age. I'm getting to the point where I kind of got reflective, and I felt very indebted to the Memphis community and how I got started. So this gives me a chance to talk about the studio, Ardent Studios, talk about the producers who we work with, Artie and Paul Eversole and John Hampton. And Tom Werman worked on our third record with us and done all this stuff with like Cheap Trick and Motley Crue and all that. And talk about the songwriters that we work with, because there was a lot of things and people behind the scenes that gave us an opportunity to be successful. You know, the four guys, we were just kind of what you saw when we did the show, but there was all this other stuff.
Right. Don't look behind the curtain.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So that part was pretty cool.
So, songwriting. What elements do you believe makes a great song?
Well, the melody and how you identify with the lyrics. I think every song is kind of different. Some of it is inspired just by something musically that you're doing. Sometimes it's something you scribble down on a napkin at midnight somewhere in the honky tonk or something. It's just so powerful. Keith and I were talking about this. We still love being creative together. It's the same four original guys. We all went to high school together.
So cool.
We've known each other. I think Keith and the bass player, the guitar player, bass player, have known each other since they were 9 or 10 years old. So we've known each other for a long time, but we still genuinely enjoy being around each other and being creative. We trade music all the time, song ideas that we have. And we've kind of been in a little bit of a hiatus. Keith started working on his solo thing, and I jumped out doing acoustic, and John was doing his thing. So we're getting ready in June. We're going to do a show in Memphis for one of our crew guys had a medical issue, and we're going to try to raise some funds for him.
Okay.
And I think that's when we'll regroup about doing our music and all that stuff. We still have some tracks and stuff that we haven't let out yet. We have one project out right now called Best of the Rest. It has 4 new singles on it: Trip the Light Fantastic, Go Where the Love Is, Little Girl Blue, and Neptune Society, that one was really fun. I played piano on it. I've never played piano on the recordings. We always had somebody else do it. So that was fun to do that one. But the Best of the Rest has 13 outtakes on it that maybe some of the people hadn't heard before. So we're kind of pushing that for the 35th.
Next up for Tora Tribe, still looking to do any new music as well?
Yeah.
And he just answered that.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that's
John.
good, man. No, that's okay. It's headed that way. And we have some basic tracks that are done. The vocals and guitars aren't finished on some recordings that we did a while back. And but we're working on that, and I'm definitely writing all the time. I have made some connections and some arrangements where I'm working with some people outside of Tora. So I'm working on that. New acoustic record will probably be out for me, hopefully in the near future. So.
Really cool. Yeah, I've seen some of your lives and videos on Facebook. I'm just he is so chill, man. He's so personable,
it's
man.
fun, and I've been messing around in like some different tunings. Like I've had a Nick Drake tuning and a John Hagee tuning where I got my guitar in kind of alternate tunings. It's been a lot of fun just being creative,
Yeah. That new Tora Tribe shirt. How many of those you got?
I got some here today.
Okay.
Yeah, I debuted them on the Monsters Rock Cruise, but I brought some for Rock and Ride. And,
Sweet.
It's just, we kind of always tried to be inclusive. When we first started, we were kind of from 2 different neighborhoods, Patrick and I were kind of from one part of town, and Keith was from another part. And we had, when you're in high school, you're kind of, there's a little bit of division and
Yeah.
ranks, and there's kind of the party people and the jocks and all that kind of stuff. And we would get all those people together. We had a warehouse where we used to throw parties all the time, and all those people would come together. And that's not what just taught us about how inclusive music is, how it brings people together. We've always felt like that, and so this tour and tribe thing just kind of came up through the pandemic. We were talking to each other, and we said, man, we kind of got a tribe of people that are on here encouraging each other. We don't have to agree about everything, but we can still love each other and love music, and that's kind of what message we want to send out.
I
So,
love it. I love it. Yeah, I saw those shirts and I was like, I've got to take one of those.
yeah, man. We got to get you set up.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
John looks like he wants one.
Awesome. Well, listen, I hate to do this. I think I have to wrap up. But
Okay.
I just wanted to thank you guys so much for giving me a
No,
platform.
thank you.
Thank y'all for all the support, and y'all help me get the word out. I'm happy to do the acoustic shows anytime. I travel. I'm pretty lean and mean, so
Okay,
I
awesome.
jump in and take off. So let me know. Just reach out on our social media, Tour Band, on all your social media sites, and you can go to tourmusic.com if you want to get in touch with us.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. This was fun.
Appreciate you.
Man, that just gave me goosebumps.
Think about it.
Right?